Hi, Jose. How are you?
I'm doing very well. The Histories Channel's Ancient Aliens Roadshow, Huntington, New York, and Red Bank, New Jersey. You can get that info online. Plus, Ancient Aliens on the History Channel Friday nights at 9 o'clock. New episodes. Can't wait. Can I ask you already your thoughts on 3I Atlas?
Of course you can, and it's highly, highly weird. It's a comet that's not really a comet, and if you listen to some of the propositions that Avi Loeb makes, the astronomer of Harvard University, then we really should pay attention to this because we've observed comets. We know what comets do, and this one is has very different characteristics. So it's possible that it's some type of a retrofitted rock into some type of a probe. And oh, by the way, Dr. Avi Loeb has made the same proposition back when Oumuamua came through our solar system, which was the first, interstellar object to arrive. And so, we live in very interesting times.
With that said, what other topics are out there that are pretty fresh right now, new and improved?
Well, I mean, the fact that we are having congressional hearings, and now we've had three so far about the UFO phenomenon. I mean, that is beyond anything that any of myself or any of my colleagues could have ever imagined in our wildest dreams. And so some of my colleagues, say, this is all a nothing burger, all this stuff that's presented in Congress. It's old, and we've known about this before. The people interested in this topic have known about this before, but I've got news for you. Not everyone is interested in aliens. And no, the great majority of the people don't know about the last 80 years of UFO research. So these hearings and all of this, these meetings that are happening right now in the halls of Congress, they're not for the UFO aficionado, for the UFO fan. This is for the general public. This is part of conditioning of the disclosure process.
Do you think we're going to get to know what Area 51 is all about, or you think it's going to come out heavily redacted?
So whether it is heavily redacted or not, 51 was always that Area 51 is an incredible weapons range for testing of weapons and planes and aerial vehicles and things like that. But I've always said that Area 51 to me is like a magician's trick. If a magician tells you 15,000 times to look at his left hand, anyone with a brain would look at his right hand because that is where the trick happens. The left hand is the diversion. And so we've been told 15,000 times to look at Area 51, when in reality, it's a diversion. So the real stuff, the craft, the bodies, all of that, it's at Area 52, Area, 69. And so, but where is that? Your guess is as good as mine.
This live tour is phenomenal, sold out almost every single stop. Now, do you get the occasional, can you autograph my chest, or what is the most interesting relationship you've had with a fan?
It's a funny question. Yes, that has happened. And one time that whatever I signed and wherever I signed was then turned into a tattoo. So that is by far the most surreal thing that's happened. And also, I've met a few people that have my face on their body tattooed, and that I still I'm still as you can tell right now, I'm struggling, or it's wonderful, it's great, but plus I don't have any tattoos, so I can't speak for any of that.
Me and my wife love your hair. Do you get it professionally done, or is it just natural?
It's a lot of hairspray and a few seconds with the electric socket.
We love it. Do not get rid of it. Now, when you're on tour and you have these stops, what do you like more about the stops? Is it the culture, the food? Do you get, because you get introduced to different parts of Americana that, you wouldn't get if you just laid up at home?
Oh, absolutely. Well, first of all, what I love the most is to meet all the people, because their love and their passion for the show, their enthusiasm is absolutely unparalleled. We have, I've said this before, we have the best fans in the world. And when you come to one of these, you have to see it to believe it, because the reception is quite literally out of this world. The love, the warmth, the enthusiasm. Whenever I would say, hey, so then the next place we're going to talk about is Puma, and then the audience, without hesitation, would yell back, Punku. And so the audience knows what this is all about. They're in it. They're into it. And yes, of course, most of, let's say we have a 5 or 4 cities lined up. Usually we don't fly between those cities, we drive. And so sometimes we're in the car up to 6, 7, 8 hours. And in those rides, it's one of my favorite things to do, to travel across the United States and to just see how huge our country is, and how people do have different cultures in all of these different pockets. And so I love it. I think it's great.
Ancient Aliens, this was a one-off show where you came on as an expert. Now you're executive producer. How has your role changed? Has your perspective changed on Ancient Aliens, or are you still loving it as much as you did with that first one-off?
I love it more. I love it more because we are now also incorporating, modern UFO sightings, which in the original 2 seasons of Ancient Aliens, we rarely talked about modern UFOs. And so this idea to incorporate also the modern UFO phenomenon is something that I have to say thanks to Kevin Burns, the owner of Prometheus, because he thought, they are connected. And I agree with him, because the idea was, oh yeah, ancient astronaut theory, ancient times, and then modern day UFO phenomenon. Well, and then there was nothing in between. Well, we have so many weird paintings and renderings of what could be considered UFOs in ancient times, and so in Middle Ages and Middle Age times. And so our idea was that, they were called the Watchers back then. So a watcher never really leaves. They stay. They keep continuing to watch. And so a small faction of these extraterrestrials that were here thousands and thousands of years ago stayed, and they are observing the progress of Earth.
When a person goes to the show, what can they expect? I mean, there's a lot of hoot and hollering and a lot of good positive vibes. What else can they expect from Ancient Aliens live tour?
So Ancient Aliens Live, I mean, if you are a fan of the TV show Ancient Aliens, then our live stage show is basically an immersion into the television episodes, where we show clips, we show photographs, and we have discussions about these topics. And it's basically an exploration of what I refer to as the smoking guns of the ancient astronaut theory. And then at the end of the show, we answer a couple of audience questions. And if you so decide, then there's also a photo op afterwards where you can say hello to us and take a quick photo. And I mean, it's a whole fun night out on the town with the whole family and all your friends. So we can't wait to see you there, frankly.
Very good. Thank you very much for your time, sir, and look forward to these new episodes Friday nights on the History Channel, Ancient Aliens. And, of course, you're going to be in Huntington, New York, and Red Banks, New Jersey very soon. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Jose. It's been a pleasure.